Looking at question 17, a few people asked me about this one. This essentially is a question about ions testing, so I'll just read it through now. Sodium azide is dissolved in water, acidified silver nitrate is added to the solution and a white precipitate forms. Aqueous ammonia is then added to the white precipitate. The azide ion is N3, 1-, and has similar chemical properties to the chloride ion. Then it's asking you which option from the following table would be correct. Okay, let's try and pick out the very, very key information from this table. This is essentially a question about the ions tests for the halides, okay? Because it's telling you here that this azide ion has the same chemical properties as the chloride ion. And that's really the most important bit of information they've given you. You're not familiar with the azide ion, but you should be familiar with the chloride ion, okay? So that's really what this question's all about. It's about the chloride ion and not the azide ion. Okay, so it's asking you to decide which is the correct formula. Now this part was very easy. It's told you that the azide ion is N3, 1-, and you should all know that the silver ion is Ag, 1+. And if we're thinking about how we create formulas with compound ions, this has got to be a 1-to-1 ratio in the formula because of the charges. So the formula will be Ag N3, remembering that that's 1+ and that is 1-. So that means it's got to be options A or B here. So now let's decide which of A and B it is, okay? And that will be based on what happens when you add aqueous ammonia. In other words, what happens when you add aqueous ammonia to silver chloride, okay? That's what you really need to know. If I just skip here, I've put in a results table that I've just pulled from the internet here. But we should know that, we already know, questions told us that we get a white precipitate with silver nitrate. Now, what happens when you add ammonia to that? Well, in the case of silver chloride, that white precipitate is going to dissolve. And the question has told us that it would be the same for the azide ion. So if the white precipitate dissolves, then we're talking about having a colorless solution formed. So the answer here would have been A, and it's basically because this ion behaves in the exact same way as the chloride ion does. I hope that has helped. Goodbye.